Hey there. Alright, today we're going to work on the black bean soup. We're going to need to crush and cut up, well, it's supposed to be 2 cloves of garlic, but you see these ones are kind of small. So I'm going to use 4 of them. And get those cut up. Okay, garlic's cut up. Also we need to cut up 1 stalk of celery. Slice it thin, like this. Alright, so now we got our celery cut up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this heirloom tomato, 1 nice heirloom tomato, and I'm going to cut that up. Cut out the core. Then I'm going to dice this tomato. Go ahead and cut it into thin strips like that, and then just come across and dice them. They're going to cook down anyway. Okay, so 1 tomato, celery, the garlic cut up. Now we need to take 1/2 of this pepper. Just going to go ahead and core it. Scrape out those seeds. And then I'm going to dice this the same as I did the tomato. Like that. Your quality of cutting doesn't really matter because 90% of this is going to go into the blender in a minute anyway. So, this is what you got. This is what's going into the pot first. Garlic, celery, tomato, red pepper. I've got this in the pot. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on high. And just let that kind of sweat out a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to get some hot water going, and I'm going to add 1.5 cups of hot water to this. Along with the 1.5 cups of hot water that I just put in that pan, I also need to add 2 small bouillon cubes. This is a large bouillon cube, the size of about 4, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it in half, and in half again. 2 small bouillon cubes. And just kind of smash them up right into the pan. Stir that up. Alright, so I'm going to take 1 of my cans of beans, now that this has been cooking down for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to add 1 of these cans of drained beans. I'm going to stir that up. And I'm going to let that cook for about 5 minutes. What's going to happen after this is I'm going to take this and put this all in the blender and blend it up. You might have been wondering what this is in this food syringe. That's the creme fraiche that you saw me make in another video. The beans have been in there cooking for about 5 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole mixture and just dump it right here into the blender. Alright. So I got my blender on, and I'm going to pulse it for a minute. And I'm going to take it off pulse, and I'm going to put it on puree. Alright, in the middle of the blender doing this thing, I'm going to take my cornstarch mixed with a little bit of water, and I'm going to dump that in there to thicken it. And I'm going to add my salt, and I'm going to add my cumin. Put about a tablespoon of cumin in there. Pulse, stir it up. Alright, from the blender, after it's been blended for about a minute, back into the pot. Turn the heat back on to just a simmer. Right there. Just simmer it. Grab your other can of beans and dump that in there now. We're going to stir those up. And while that's reheating, I need the juice of 1/2 of a lemon. I'm going to juice it with one of these old school citrus juicers. That's the juice of 1/2 of a lemon. I'm going to take that and I'm going to dump it into our soup. I'm going to stir it up. Now I like mine to be spicy. I've got these nuclear hot peppers from Cousin Paul down in Tennessee. I'm going to throw 3 of those into my mortar and pestle. And I'm going to grind those up into a fine dust. I'm going to take those hot peppers right into my soup. Now I'm not kidding, that's going to be hot. Now this is just about done. Just about ready to put in a bowl and put a little creme fraiche on top. This is going to be great. Alright, I've got my bowl here. I'm going to take some creme fraiche that I have in my marinade injector. And I'm just going to squirt some around in there like that. And I'm just going to garnish it with a little celery sprig. There it is. So this is the black bean soup. Give it a try. It's really good.